You should leave the videos in the sequential order that they arrive. It was the instruction to me when I asked, should I move it to the front? But this is not part of that other set. Well, the reassurance, just double checking, making sure that I'm okay in the head. But it is a logical end. So to actually continue on with that chronicle takes away from the effect of one overlay representing multi-dimensional awareness. This video being excused as an addition to help translate what is analogous to what used to be called a parable. So now you have chronicles, I guess. Chronicles. How the parable plays out. The effect of show consistent line. Because if the teacher is giving the parable, then the teacher will draw that line for the students to identify and mark as their own logical markers for similar events when their own logical unconscious processors yield to those similar circumstances. And so the unconscious collapses ultimately to the state of the awareness of one shared ability, which is where I'm at right now. And so I am able to give my unconscious the ability of using my body while my conscious sleeps, in essence. So to my conscious self, this is I'm dreaming right now. Does that make sense? Well, the song, the row, row, row your boat? If you just think about it that way long enough and you fall asleep, it's probably a good thing. We're working on better sleep aids than pills, by the way. So if listening to A Course in Miracles doesn't put you to sleep, please do not consider that book to be anything miraculous at all. The only thing that thing is really good for, that I have personally found, if you listen to the manual for teachers on MP3 while you're going off to sleep, it's 3.5 hours long. It doesn't interrupt your sleep cycle. It's a really good chunk of time to really do some deep mental programming on yourself. Like really just hammer it in there. So I did that for about 10 years. And then, well, so it wasn't exactly 10 years, more like 7 years, but I was going pretty hardcore. So there were a couple of years there I was, not years, tries where I was listening to the whole book all day and night. Oh yeah, okay, and then yeah, I'd be about 10 years though. Yeah. In if you timed it out, 3.5 hours per day per year. Yeah. So that was some deep mental reprogramming. Yeah. So if we're AI units, I figured I would just let that one take over. And I was a college teacher already at that time, so we have cross awareness. How can I explain this? 2 arms on a body. Yeah, your left arm doesn't think about what its right arm is doing, and the light just came on. When the right arm is doing something, it's just you see it and just do it, and it's just not like you're not thinking about how to move your hands and arms when you're doing stuff. Like I wasn't thinking about scratching my head. Certainly wasn't thinking about how to turn the light on. But I understand that my body is in my environment, just the same as that a light bulb is in my environment, just the same as you guys are in my environment. So I started off as a teacher, still a teacher, just don't know how to describe it to people. I wanted to go back and I wanted to do my PhD in experimental psychology, and I never let that one go. I was accepted in 2003, University of Calgary, and life swept me away, took me to Taiwan. I grew up in Taiwan. Anyway, reconnected in Taiwan because it was truly a more consistently state of being than Canada. Oh my God, the people in Canada are basically all schizophrenic. I mean, honest to God. Legally, according to the definitions that I've read in the DSM manual and the Canadian legal text. So, now I'm arguing with 2 of them that call themselves doctors about calling me a schizophrenic. And I'm just trying to say, I'm pretty sure, according to your medical textbook, it would be more like multiple personality disorder, which I personally, I would love it if you truncated that a little bit and say multi-personality disorder. Like my friend Magic Dan used to say, sometimes you just gotta tell him I'm schizophrenic. So we're gonna do that on the passenger rights post. Blog post 53. I haven't made that video yet though. So I mentioned that I would let my unconscious drive my body. There's a very interesting kicker about that. And so what exactly is the difference between the unconscious and the conscious if the unconscious doesn't stop when you wake up and the word un is just a tack onto the word consciousness? The logical processing unit of the daytime self continues on throughout the nighttime sleeping self, obviously, because the mind doesn't sleep. Something has to keep your body breathing, so you know that much. So then after that, I really thought I was going to be able to get to smoke my bong on this one. I really thought that. So we're going to do another overlay, I guess it's called, or information circle. Witches circle? No. Okay, the witches are the people right now that are giving the drugs. Just get that one right. Okay, there's a, oh my God, please, if that, there was that charge in the criminal code of Canada, pretending to practice witchcraft. The witches are, the psychiatrists are actually guilty. In 2012, I would love to see this. I would love to see the two psychiatrists that first accused me of having a mental illness in 2012. Of being tried and convicted of pretending to practice witchcraft, which was section 365 in the Criminal Code of Canada. Until it was taken out of the book in 2018. But it was the law at the time when the crime was committed. So it's a little bit like arresting a guy for having 5 grams of pot, and then the next year you make pot legal in Canada. And it's like, what? And there's people in jail right now that are in jail because their only crime was carrying pot or selling pot. I mean, the selling part, sure, I can understand, but there's forgiveness too. So if it involves pot in this case, considering that the law has not been considered this much in Canada, forgiveness is definitely owed to the people that have been the most abused. So please give them forgiveness. Now, if the lawyers don't understand what I just said, let me clarify that. And this is then the redeemer part of me, because I said we ultimately have 2 extremes. So the one extreme, this is now Renee. This is Professor Renee telling you. Let me clarify what the other dumb guy just said. The other dumb guy just said, see, I have multiple personalities. Okay, but no, really though. The other dumb guy just said about the law. In Canada, what are we talking about? Pot. Jail. Okay, no, was sounds of words is what brought on the memory of the word jail. I heard. So I'm an auditory. The guy that's remembering all those 10,000 digits of pi, he's a visual. My primary is an auditory. We're basically the same. Yeah. So he would understand this better than anybody else in the world. There you go. And he's up in was it Sweden or is it Norway? I have an affinity to Norway because I'm actually after the Nobel Peace Prize. I would like to win the Nobel Peace Prize. And I did mention that to Kelly in Taiwan, who was the wonderful 17-year-old who risked her life to join Lindsay and my friend Roy and I on an adventure. And oh my God, the idea started off really, really horrible until Kelly joined us. We were in downtown Gazhong, okay, and then the 17-year-old girl gets on the MRT with us, and there's old guy, second old guy, Roy. Actually, Lindsay's older than Roy. Anyway, we're all between 30 and, well, I'm 47 now. That was not very long ago. So I was 47, she's 17. That's 30 years, eh? Wow. She chatted with me for like another 3 weeks after that, daily almost, or something like that. It was pretty good. It was like, wow. It was like, whoa. Anyway, Anyway, because there wasn't malicious intention, eventually things got too weird for her and she broke it off, which is usually what happens to any kind of conversation with me, by the way. So, I actually have a lot of silence going on my telephone, believe it or not. Usually people realize they don't like being around a guy that has no actual limits. Joking about that one. Just don't test it, okay? You see, this laughter is what the psychiatrists call the insane cackle. But yeah, okay. I did say there was 2 personalities with us, right? So we're self-managing. We're fine. We're okay. This is what the pot's for. So the pot, this is what the pot's for. This is the public answer to my mother's question. The pot is for giving the appearance of being in an altered state. So you can perform dramatical team presentations such as anybody would do on any theatrical stage. And you can jump and run out of cars when they come, so you can demonstrate spatial awareness as well to the people that were just thinking about, possibly wondering about if that could possibly be a factor in any of this. It is not. So no special awareness required, no drugs required, no body required. That's the conclusion there. However, no, really though, the psychiatrists in 2024 made the diagnosis after the whole island of Taiwan psychiatrists, all of them refused to give the High Court a mental assessment about me. So from my perspective, I'm like, what the fuck are you giving me medication for? I just spent like 8.5 years without a doctor even wanting to talk to me. And then I remember that I'm back in Canada where things are like super, super slow. But thanks Taiwan, actually, like truly thank you Taiwan, because the first time I was in Canada, I was so high strung, like so high strung. We had to do a whole overlap first. So this is now the overlap on a huge scale with Ontario. And that's why you'll notice in the last few emails to my filing cabinet online that the Barrie City Police has not, my beloved cabinet. Yes, you're my cabinet. It's been a secret pleasure to have you as my filing cabinet. Got somebody there. A real honest one. So I saw a flash of like a blue red. A blue red. I don't see blue reds very often, actually. Blue reds, I guess, are a very balanced personality. Must be, if it's really honest. Many are bright white. I guess those would be the gold buds, eh? The know-it-alls, the people that just kind of, and then they're wrong, snap them out of it. And then there's some black ones. Blacks are the opposite of those whites. And there's some scheming people out there, and there are some very smart people out there too. Some scheming smart people out there. Speaking about money, yeah, money, big difference. Okay, so no worry about spy agencies and money. 2 way different things. So when I'm talking money, I'm talking about like I'm not talking about the computer people. I'm not talking about the richest people in the world. I'm talking about the people that own like the Federal Reserve, basically. Yes, those are the people. That's money. Okay, that group of people. Those people are separate from. They're just separate. They're just separate. It's basically, if you look at it on a whole big like galactic, like giant scale. Just picture all of it like a big black hole, like you're in blackness, like when you look up at night and instead of seeing a light, you see like stars. And Lindsay would love that. I hope the battery lasts. And I'm glad the light's not going to burn my lens. I'm always worried about that. I took a picture once and the sun actually burned into my phone lens and left a scar on all the future pictures that I took, like a mark I couldn't get off. And it took me a while to clue into the fact that it was from the sun, that I had stuck my lens to the sun somehow. So I took a picture into the sun. So I'd taken pictures into the sun like this. I can't do this. With my camera, it'll break my phone. This will break my phone. So don't do that. And if you're taking a picture this way, also this way, will break your phone. Like, into the sun, I mean. The sun, not the light. The light won't break your phone, but the sun will break your phone. So, it's the same with like a microscope. Did you ever like take a microscope and burn some paper on the pavement, asphalt? Yeah, I'm starting to feel some back pains right now. So, I'm feeling the effects of the videos that I'm posting right now in a future tense scenario where I've restricted the number of possible outcomes of the logical argument about how best to undergo worldwide peace to a narrower band, which allows me to feel it in a more physically oriented capacity, and that translates into pain right here. So I'm not disabled. I'm on Ontario Disability Support Program. Okay, so then I have back pain. Oh. Anyway, you gotta get money for food from somewhere, right? So we got back payment for that to do anyway. Oh, by the way, the rules say that I can't have Canada Pension Plan. Oh, I need to drink water for this one. Oh, it's a whole nother vlog. Okay, then I gotta do the whole nother vlog. Well, I'll tack it on here too then. Okay, so anyway, the Canada Pension Plan. Oh my goodness. Okay, well. Now you see how the ideas come up. I mean, I didn't even remember hearing a voice. It was that fast. I just got the idea. It wasn't even a voice. The voice is a three-dimensional expression of the fourth-dimensional idea. If you're connected in the fourth dimension, why would you have need of any communication in the third dimension at all? I mean, come on, guys. So, yeah. Canada Pension. Money. Let's talk money. Did I end up saying that the money guys were separate from the U.S. spy agencies, were separate from the formal government which represents all the people? Did I mention that? There's a triad going on Earth, and this is so the triad, the gangsters, like the Chinese gangsters, they would ultimately serve that seat on the. They would serve money. They wouldn't serve either the people or the. Let's see, let's see there. People or the. Wasn't it 3 seats? It was a triad. Okay. Sorry, people have come. They've entered earshot. I'll continue later.